So when we left off, we were wondering, well, why does it seem perfectly fine to most of us native speakers of English to ask, who do you want to see when, we're asking someone coming into the barber shop which of the two hairdressers they want to see? But it seems really weird and just blah when I'm asking the head doctor which of the other doctors does she want to see the new patient to ask the doctor, hey, who do you want to see Sarah? Why is that so weird? Well, here's the hypothesis. Because even though both of these sentences look almost exactly the same on the surface, except for the, word Sarah at the end of this one, there's actually big structural differences to the language between these two things that you just cannot see printed on the words here, and you cannot hear when I speak those words to you. So let's see a little bit of the theory about what is this invisible structure going on under there. So here's the theory. When we form questions in English, we take a declarative sentence and we move some bits of it around. So if I want to ask, who do you want to see to the person coming into the barber's shop, I start out with the sentence, you want to see Kendra. Okay? So then I take that name Kendra and I move it over to the front of the sentence. So the idea is, so I move Kendra from this spot here, and now this spot remains in the sentence. There's just nothing there that I pronounce, and I move Kendra over to the front of the sentence. And then I just take Kendra's name and I replace it with a who. And in English, you've got to add this weird little do thing in here too. That's kind of like an odd feature of English. But I just move Kendra to the front and then I change Kendra to who. And now I've got my question, who do you want to see? But now the theory is, there's a little gap here in the sentence that it remains since that's where I moved the word Kendra from. All right, let's see how this theory plays out in our second question. So this one, remember, is the one where I'm asking the chief here, so which of the doctors here do you want to see Sarah? So in this time, I'm going to start out with the declarative sentence, you want Dr. Smith to see Sarah. So to form the question, again, I take Dr. Smith out of the place where it is and boop, move it to the front of the sentence. But again, there's going to be this blank gap left in there from where I moved Dr. Smith. And then I'm just going to take that name Dr. Smith and just replace it with a who, because, I'm remaining up in the air about who exactly I want to see Sarah. So now I've got my question, who do you want to see Sarah? Now that blank, I don't pronounce anything there, so it's invisible and you don't hear it when I pronounce the sentence, but here's the theory. That blank is still there in the structure of the sentence, and that's why in this case, it just sounds freaking weird to go from want to wanna because there's this invisible gap here, and it just sounds yucky to us when we try and contract between two words that have a gap between them. It's like we're missing something. So when I try to take the sentence, who do you want to see Sarah, and contract it to, who do you want to see Sarah? We're just like, there's something weird there. And the reason why is because there's this invisible structure, these invisible gaps in there that most of us don't realize are there, but they still influence how we perceive language nonetheless. So I'll be interested to hear if you get the same reactions that I and a lot of folks get to these sentences in the discussion. And let me know what questions you've got about this idea that there is this invisible structure. This is the idea that Adger is going to be assuming when he shows you some interesting facts about the structure of sign languages in the chapter that I gave you to read.